times when you lose your troubled mind. Suppose there are times when you're feeling undefined. Suppose there are days when your colors turn to gray. That's when you call me and know just what to say. We go out and on the night. We jump and touch the light. We dance and we don't sleep until we die. We don't have to worry. Drink up the nights early. Keep dancing, 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 running right.
3 powered by AMD, esports partner being Sky Esports. We wish you all a very happy Bengali and Tamil New Year as well as a Nepali New Year, which is just yesterday. It is an entire only female South Asia event. I myself start Tanya. Alongside me, it is Zach. Zach, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really, really good. It's been a great day, and yeah, we just came off of celebrating Tamil New Year, and it was really fun, especially with my family and stuff. So yes, to everybody celebrating New Year, Happy New Year wishes. Depending on where you're from, I hope you guys are having a great time as well. And regarding today's tournament, like it's the first day of the WD Pack Cup Season 3 Luna, which is an exclusive tournament for women in South Asia. And seeing an initiative like this being pioneered by Sky Esports as well as WD Black and AMD really, really makes me happy because, giving women a platform to prove themselves and develop themselves further, I think is one of the most important things that we need to see in gaming and esports in general. And I'm really happy that, you know, events like this help make that happen.
For the professional female players, definitely it is going to be a game changer for them. They are going to have a lot of platform coming in the future as well. Let's see how are they going to perform, because this is just the start, ladies and gentlemen. Much more to follow. There have been 2 seasons already where Luna was not a part. It is season 3, and here where the Luna female only event is announced. Not only announced, a long list of participation is also going to be spotted. Your favorite teams will be spotted, and so will your favorite players. Let alone that Valorant is turning into one of the favorite FPS gaming, so your favorite agents. Just in case, viewers, you have any favorite agent coming in, go for the hashtag with your favorite agent.
Definitely. Definitely go do so. But while you're doing that, let's take a look at the prize pool for this tournament. I think that the first place is going to be a massive sum of $10,000. I'm sorry, the total prize pool is going to be for $10,000. The first place is going to be a resounding $4,500. The second place, 2,200, and the third place with $1,000. We do also have awards for fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh place, with 450, 350, 250, and 250 being the sums respectively. And also, while Valorant is a game that is a team game and awards team play, we do have awards coming in for the most valuable players, leader, and support. So, most valuable player will be getting $500. The most valuable leader of the game will be getting $250, and the most valuable support player of the game of the tournament, in fact, will be getting $250. And I think this really gives a wide scope of awards available for different players as well as teams. It's a lot of motivation. If I saw a prize pool like $4,500, I'll tell you, I'll be extremely motivated to do well and play and try and win in the story.
Definitely, not only, not, let alone prize pool USD. Sure, alongside that, the competition within your teammates is also going to arise about who is going to be the MVP. So these extra titles, maybe the amount compared to the victorious teams is way less, but ultimately it is going to be the title that is going to matter a lot. MVP player, leader, supporter, and once you get that title, I'm very sure of you are going to be very excited, very happy, and exactly you can also do a little bit of show off, and that is exactly how the friends work out within the game scenario.
Definitely, I think that it is going to be a hefty competition, especially for that MVP player. I think that you will want to try and do your best. But let's look at the teams we have who are going to be playing in today's match for the day. It is going to be Orangutan versus Entrare Esports. Now, I'm really excited to see this match because Orangutan is one of the teams that is rather new to Valorant. Like, it has a lot of seasoned players, sure, but the team itself is barely been around for like a month. And I'm really, really excited to see how they're going to be performing in this tournament. Entrare as well, it's a relatively new roster. Sure, again, like both these teams have players who have been playing Valorant almost since the beta. But, as a team, they've been playing together for a relatively short time. So it's going to be exciting to see how they're going to work as a team, how they're going to coordinate, and how they're going to try and work together to win that prize and move forward in this round of 32. Because it's going to be really hard. If you lose, you are going to be closer to elimination and you're not going to have another chance to fight for it. So, they will be looking to close this out as fast as possible. And it's going to be a very determined match, I would say.
Absolutely. It is going to be very determined match. The players have been playing for long, long time, but ultimately it is the synergy that is going to create a team, and team efforts are going to matter a lot. We are heading about the map veto. Attack goes to Orangutan, and they are going for the map of Icebox. Now, with the recent updates, Icebox, I would personally feel it is turning defenders friendly even more, particularly the site B.
I would definitely agree with that. Before you used to have that extra little box, to be able to plant and stuff. It's actually made the meta shape more in the favor of Sage here because both yes and no. Because without that wall baggable box, you can get the plant on, but it leaves you in a much more exposed angle. Utility can be tossed at you more easily and stuff. So if you want to get a plant that isn't the default plant, you will need that sage wall on that B side, like you mentioned. So you're right. B side has become very difficult for attackers to plant the spike on, but it has become a little bit easier for them to attack on because now you have two areas from which they can enter, and they will be able to double peek the person watching from the yellow boxes. The yellow boxes has also been adjusted so that it's no longer at a slant; it's more or less perpendicular to the rest of the map. So it's easy. It's a bit easier to clear, I would say, and play on, but. Mid hasn't changed much. I think that looking at the agent picks, it is going to be Viper who is by far the
Yeah.
controller of choice. We have seen a little bit of Omen come in, but I think Viper is going to be the controller of choice.
We have usually seen Viper and Icebox got a strong bond. One team or the other is definitely going to go ahead, pick a Viper, and it works wonders in terms of defender side, but on the attacker side as well. The last solo man standing is able to resolve all the key problems by saving the snake bites for post plan and everything else. So ultimately, it is going to matter a lot. But talking about Sage, recently I'm not spotting much of a Sage coming in. So Sage is a must for the map of Icebox, and personally, I don't see Sage setup is going to be seen spotted real soon. Double initiator, sure. Single duelist, sure. Single controller, sure. But then, who is going to be the fifth player? That is going to be the question mark, at least in my head. What are your perspective here?
I think you're definitely right. The one of the most biggest changes that you're seeing, especially in the last few months over the Valorant meta, is the usage of the double initiator. You are seeing a lot of SOA, but more importantly, I think that one of the more interesting agents to watch for is KO. Sky used to be really popular in Icebox because of the range of her flashes as well as how she was able to cover it around corners, like pop them at different altitudes and stuff. But I think we need to talk about KO here because with the agent chamber being released and most of his utility being guns, you will want that KO knife point to try and shut it down to make sure that if the chamber does have the total force ultimate available, you want to make sure that they aren't playing any operate triangles, especially like I think we even saw this in the VCT meta. We did see that a lot of the players were going for a chamber instead of the jet. The TP lets you get away quickly, it lets you get away without a chain and stuff, so a lot of chamber plays being seen. So I think that I'll be definitely interested to see if anyone's going to be running a KO, as opposed to the usual initiators to try and shut things down.
KO sure is going to be wonders if at all we are spotting. But coming back to chamber, it is going to be a very good plus in terms of time. There are times certainly when you go eco, and as you mentioned, it chamber is the agent with a lot of guns. Certainly, we also spot chamber going with three weapons sometimes once they activate tour de force. So chamber is going to be one of the agent we can personally expect coming in. But who is it going to be? That is going to be a question because now the players are not entirely going in the way previous years were, just like two duelists always a duelist. Now they are ready to shift as and when whatever is required. We do see duelist going initiator, duelist going controller, still being able to top frag. So the aim is not going anywhere, but the utilities are being used very wisely.
Definitely, I think the usage of utility is one of the main differentiators between teams because you can grind your aim, but it depends on when you use your util and how you use your util, and more importantly, how you coordinate with the rest of the team to be able to use your util. And I think that it's really important to be able to do so in a coordinated manner. And I think that OG as a team has really managed to perfect that. They've only been playing together for like a few weeks, like I've mentioned, but they've done a fantastic job. Especially like I think I've seen Mythica play that Viper. So if Mythica plays the Viper, Casper goes for that chamber, and both of these are very powerful players by themselves. But when they work in coordination, when you see Mythica lurking or Casper lurking and they get picks off each other, they hold like a deadly crossfire down areas like mid. It's just beautiful to see gameplay like that while they work as a team. And of course, let's talk about Sway. OG Sway is one of the scariest players I've ever met. Like her
Yeah.
headshots, her aim with the jet is just so good.
I would literally want and wait to see the blade storm slicing and dicing opponent's head because we have seen that several times. So maybe Sway as a jet using the blade storm. Not only that, she is also picking various other vandals, one taps, everything in all different aspects. Now talking about OG, very well a recent created team, but still the players have been renowned for quite a bit. Talking about Entrare here, we have got Bela, we have got one Shanti, we have got Snack, Ready, and Elika. So now talking about these players, we have spotted them playing for way too long, but we have not particularly spotted that this player has the caliber of the duelist or getting the site entry immediately. They are going for the mix, and I think that being versatile is also a key factor to battle against a strong team like Orangutan.
Definitely, versatility is important, but I think that one play that we will be seeing is going to be Snack. She is going to be on that duelist. I don't know if she's going to be going in for a usual race or if she's going to be going in for Jet, who is, I think, a better duelist for Icebox. Because, you do have all those altitudes and you would want to play off those different angles. And, with the Jet updraft, and she can quickly peak angles and stuff and try to take care of utility or players holding a particular angle. Anyway, though, let's see if our predictions are right, Tanya, as we go into Agent Select for this matchup. So looking at it so far, it seems like for the side of the defense, it's going to be Bella on that chamber, Elika going for that Sage, Avanti on her usual Sova, Snack on the Jet, and Grady is going to be on the Viper.
And on the OG side, we are going to spot Casper, not as a chamber shop, but as Arena, the duelist Sway. For sure, she's going to fulfill, we demand, we desire. She's going to fulfill it with the Blade Storm ultimates. Talking about Mythica here, as you mentioned, a pre-handed that we can expect going, Mythica going as a Viper controller, talking about Kashao, going as a KO. The initiator, so the double initiator setup is coming very strongly from OG. But talking about Entrare here, we are spotting one Sage who is Elika right now, and I think on the map of Icebox, Sage is a key play because yeah, heal and everything without heal as well. It is doable, but talking about Sage wall, it if you block the tubes, the rotation is going to take longer, and I think on the defender side, being a Sentinel Sage is going to play a better role there. But coming back to KO here, we don't have any rays that can get destroyed by Kashao.
Definitely. I think that, however, Kachawa has gone for is going to be going against the Chamber. And I gotta say, I love the lineup that both of these teams have come up with because from the side of Entrare Esports, they are going to be starting on defense. So them having the two Sentinels makes a lot of sense. Chamber can hold off a side by himself, more or less, with some assistance from another initiator, perhaps so, to give early information. And like you mentioned, Sage is really good on mid. On the other hand, though, you usually see Casper on the Chamber, you see Kachao on that Sage. But since they're starting first in attack, they have decided to go full on aggressive. They have the KO for shutting down Chamber Util. They have Reina with her flashes and her ability to just frag out. And they do have the Jet as well on Sway for for making space for getting that aggressive push in. And I think both these teams have gone for lineups that make sense regarding what side of the map they're playing on. And let's see how that pans out for them. We only have 3 seconds to go, and we are going to be heading into the first round of this really cool matchup.
Ladies and
Scanning
gentlemen,
ahead.
the Luna's very first match right in front of our screen. OG trying to go 5 stack B. We do have one player waiting here. Let's see how is it going to affect or how is it going to give any change. And the player goes backward right on time. Well, smoke cloud was used here. While indeed it was. So yeah, the players are going backwards. Though site entry is not going to be any easier. Gradually, the players are going to push in, but on this gradual push, we are witnessing the players have started immediate rotation coming in from center towards the site B. So now capturing, planting the spike here, it's going to be a little difficult. Ready did go backward, but is not going to go backward immediately. He's trying to give some pot shots, none of them getting connected, at least not yet.
Yep, the shots aren't connecting, but no player has fallen on either side yet. 45 seconds left on the clock, and the clock is running down. Orangutan is playing this perfectly. They don't want to get too aggressive. They don't want to give that first pick away. And look at Sway's position here, though. She is playing such a dangerous spot here. She will have to try and get a kill here before the
30
team goes on.
seconds left.
Casper left on 1 HP. No Sage available on Kachao, so there is going to be no heal. Sway as well tagged down to 18 HP. Two players, in fact, three players, Mythica being half HP as well. Really, really low here for the side of Ochi. But Mythica, she does have that ace side. So
down
she
A.
thought as Bala will take her down. That is going to be the spike drop. Bala has TP'd away, but the spike will
10
nevertheless
seconds
go down.
left.
It is going to be a 5v4 attempted retake for the side of Entrare Esports. They do have their advantages, but can they still do it as the trades quickly come through?
Sway silently trying to go in, and the spike will be diffused right on time. They're using the grenade, and Bella is decimated, turning it to a 3v2 affair. Jet with very low in
One
HP,
enemy
particularly
remaining.
Sway. Let's see with 18 HP what else can be done. It is going to be Snack who is going to be denying to do anything else. 1 versus 2 is the situation right now, not allowing the defusal here, and 0
One
point will
enemy
also be
remaining.
used here, but Snack turning it to a 1v1 affair. It is going to be KO, trying to deliver a lot of damage, and it is just the time play right now. And I think there's no time to defuse anymore. But who's going to take the pick? Well, it is going to be the Spike who takes the pick.
Spike indeed gets both of the kills, and Snack honestly gives her. She's like, I can't deal with Kachau's jiggle picks, man. I'm just gonna go jumping. If I can kill her, cool. If I can't, it's okay. There's no time left anyway. And that's gonna be the first round going in the favor of Team Orangutan. And what a round coming in from them, because they were at a disadvantage. They were at a women disadvantage. Two of their players had really low HP, but that's where the Reina comes in. Casper gets a kill. She manages to heal up to 120 HP, and that's it. She just goes in, and she goes, does a lot of damage, dies, but sways after the trade. Kachao is after the trade, and that's some amazing utility usage coming in from Kachao, because the chamber did not die to a gun. The chamber died to Kachao's molly there on the spike, so they just couldn't defuse the spike, even if they tried to take the spike down. That's quite some play coming in. It is going to be a mid push coming in from the side of Entrare Esports, and Mythica will spot it. They will know that the site is free, and they will be able to take the spike. Take the site, plant the spike, and try and hold on to it, because everybody else is coming past up.
They went stack A, but ultimately deciding to go for the rotation. And Snakebite is ready as well for Mythica, trying to delay the entry here. Let's see if there's any room of opportunity where they can go for immediate action. But look at Casper going back, stabbing on the attacker's side, and ultimately getting 3 picks. With that, the score is 2-0. 2 points for Team OG here. A good set of mind used. Nobody was watching the back, right? You need to make sure there's somebody to avoid the backstab coming in, and Casper made the most use out of it, and that is exactly what you have to do. And ultimately, the round going into the favor of Team Orangutan. If I had to say something, I think the 5-stack purpose play towards any side commitment, I think that is working very nicely for Team OG here.
Definitely, you saw that the first round they tried to play it slow, they tried to get a pick, but Entrare was too smart to let them do that. So if they just go in and play off of trades, they're doing a fantastic job. It is going to be Mythica though who goes on first. Elika actually gets caught in an unfortunate angle. Elika though will take a lot of damage from Sway through a gap in the wall and will fall back to try and heal. It's going to be Kitchen, which is open, the chamber, trademark popping, giving them a little bit of warning that there is at least one player towards the kitchen area. Meanwhile, the Jump will spot the chamber here and will be falling back. Advantage right now in the hand of Entrare Esports. They do have a player advantage. They do have the gun advantage as well. Avanti, even as I said, will take on a second player. It's going to be just 3 players before Orangutan to try and make this round work. 1 minute left on the clock. They do have utility to play with. They do have those specters in the window. I don't know if it's going to be enough here.
And I don't think these players are also going to be any enough here. Mid push, mid rush did not work exactly how they went for 5-stack side A and B on the court. Kachau will try to take a pick. He was able to take down Snack. Immediately it was Bela who traded, and not only that, it is Avanti saving this round and also winning the very first round into their favor. Entrare Esports. Let's see how are they going to go ahead of this particular play, because mid rush, the wall, the tube, that was wisely used coming in from Elika. I think that is how the model of mid pushing was changed. Don't only one frag, it's fine. Being a sentinel, all you have to do is defend the site entry, and that was wonderfully done. Mid push was denied, and ultimately taking a longer rotation, and that route that they followed towards site B was also the difficult one, where 2 picks are already taken down. Now coming back to this round here, the site commitment towards A is very clear. 5 players once again, all stacked up, trying to push in the same pattern. They went for the round 1 and 2, where they did win.
It is going to be a 5-star stage. So 2 things to note here. It is going to be the full by coming in. So if they do have the firepower advantage here, I think they did manage to take down 1 player last round, but at the end of the day, both teams do have to play. So it's going to come down to the same power of guns. It's just going to come down to firepower and community usage. The spike, as fast as that has been planted, the A side has been taken. And this is one interesting thing to note. OG have to have a player dedicatedly watching the backstab, because they are not running any kind of sentiment. They will need to try to do that snap. Will spot out Sway Sway tries to dash away, but Snap will be getting not one but two kills here as she takes out Kachao as well. Noah dot will spot her, and she will get the third kill on the Jeffy. Snap popping off here. She wants the ace. She is free. She is going forward with Mythica. Will try to mix things up as she gets more kills. She gets two, but Snack will clean things up. 4K and Avanti will steal the ace. That's going to be an easy defuse for the side of Entrare Esports. And Entrare Esports, they seem determined to say, no, this isn't going to be an easy win for OG. You know, we are here to play and we are here to win. And that is exactly what they seem to be doing with their really, really excellent
Yeah.
shots, especially coming in from Snack on that round.
Absolutely. Snack went insane here. Getting a 4K is never easy, but 5 stack now is not working for them. They tried for side A for the very first round. It went flawless. I think the mid route that they preferred has entirely changed, and the confidence has totally boosted for Team Entrare here. Let's see for how long are they going to get boosted, because performance is definitely boosted when you go for this AMD peripherals. And let's see who is using these peripherals and who is going to get boosted immediately with the confidence. And this time the side commitment is once again heady. Are they heading for the mid though is going to be a question for me, because mid is going to be very very difficult to push in immediately, and I think the players are willfully trying to go with that same situation.
I think it is gonna be the base. We do have a technical pause though powered by AMD, and like you mentioned, AMD processors are like in a class of their own. Especially their graphic cards and stuff. Like honestly, I know people. It's been an Intel dominated thing so far, but I swear, like once I got an AMD graphic card, it's just been so clean. I really like any kind of rebuild or build of a PC should be going in for that stuff as well. So like you mentioned, it's just super powerful, and I think these girls, some of them especially, are definitely using AMD, looking at how they're playing. I'll be willing to bet on it. But distractions apart, so far looking at the gameplay, it seems like both teams have a game plan. Like again, you have to really look at the kind of the agent lineups they're running, and looking at the ultimates available as well. Casper and Mythica both have their ults available. It is going to be an eco run coming in. A half by Kachao does have that bulldog to work with. Everybody else though is going to be stuck with the pistols. There is going to be a Spectre on Sway. Sway is deciding, whether she wants to go with the Spectre or a Marshall. She's equally good on both. We've seen her totally rip heads apart with that Marshall of hers. So, she's deciding what she wants to buy. And either way, though, there is going to be a half buy save round coming in for the side of Orangutan Esports. Now, they haven't been able to make the gun rounds work for them. They do have Mythica's ult to work with. That Viper's Pit, if you pop it and plant the spike, it does make retaking it, diffusing the spike really, really hard, especially on that B side where it's completely open. But either side could work. But what do you think Orangutan is doing wrong? They've lost two rounds in a row now after the pistol.
I personally feel the mid push that they went for is the game changer for them and the confidence booster for Team Entrare. And on the course, Sway also leveled up a little. Getting 4K is never too easy. A step away from an ace. Maybe we are going to witness aces as well. But for now, this is going to be the highest bid coming in from Sway. And talking about the scores, sure, it is 2-2. They are equalized, not much of a loss here. But if we talk about the kill points, there are still two players, one each from team. They are not having any frags to come in. Let's see if they are going to get any frags in future or no. And talking about the commitment towards side, I think now, just in case if the save round, eco round is not going into the favor of Team OG, they need to make sure they leave one player for lurking, and that is how they are going to confuse Team Entrare. Because talking about firepower, I don't see any weakness from either of the teams, but strategically they need to switch a little bit.
Definitely, strategy is really important here, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, usually you see Mythica and Casper, they play together, they make a lot of pressure towards the opposite side or towards mid, and you really want to do that when you're playing on a map like Icebox because it keeps rotations from coming in quickly. If you're just gonna five-player push A side or B side, the rotation is gonna be coming in quickly, and while you might get the spike down, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of utility being dumped at you, whether it's arrows, whether it's shock darts, whether it's Viper snake bites, or even sage slows. All of this stuff, the more you put pressure on different areas, the more utility is gonna be out of the arsenal of your opponents. Even as I say that though, Mythica, she does seem to have heard us somehow. She is going to be looking towards mid, trying to see if she can make some impact here. So as well, opting to go in for the Marshall, finally picking towards B, hoping to see if anyone is going to be walking into a crosshair, because that Marshall can be super deadly. We've seen it before from Sway, and she is looking to make this count as 15 seconds have already gone by on the clock.
And not only that, Snack will be able to take down Mythica, losing a player, losing timer with still 1 minute remaining. They do have ample time, but I don't think they do have ample weaponaries to push it in immediately and to win this round. Japit's trying to go one tap against Bella. Let's see if there's going to be any room of opportunity coming in, because Vandal versus Sheriffs, we have spotted such taps where Sheriffs are able to take down the players here. And if you look at the positioning coming in from Team Entrare here, two players are already waiting on site B, one on site A, and we do see Lurk coming in. But on the course, Casper has taken down Snack, and immediately Rady will trade down Casper, reducing the players of Team Orangutan to just two. Spike still will be in
30
the hands of
seconds
Team
left.
OG, but the situation is turning worse. 2 versus 4 with 26 seconds remaining, and the clock is ticking.
Toxins going up.
It is going to be the recon ball trying to clear out the dark side. The Viper wall coming through as well, adding a debuff will reduce the player's health temporarily. But it is going to be both the players walking through the Viper mode. In
10
fact, they
seconds
are going to
left.
be a little bit low here as Rady trying to do a
Spike
little bit of damage. They
planted.
will manage to get the spike, but it's going to be a 2v4. And Chow is super low. She is just one kill away.
One enemy remaining.
Players are being surrounded from both sides, and it's going to be an easy round for Entrare. Sure, two players did go down, but the damage is done, and that's going to be them taking the lead against Orangutan.
They didn't actually think that would
And
work.
here, the lead, which was 0-2 for Team OG, now they've not only lost the lead, but they have lost 3 consecutive rounds. And if they are not able to win this fourth by entire full buy round, it is going to be very difficult to make a comeback story written here. Snack doing wonders for the team, and ultimately now there's not even a single player who is left without any frags. So let's see how is it going to happen this time, because I do see 5 stack players trying to push in towards site A, and on site A we do have 2 players waiting for them flawlessly, which is going to be Snack, as well as supporting is going to be Rady. And we do know that Smoke Wall is going to block the vision, damage the opponents, and I think that is exactly what they are trying to do. The split is enough. I'm waiting for that backstab, just like Casper initiated in round 2. If we are going to witness that, we can expect something good. Chaos grenade wasted out, no damage delivered. And over here, 0 point was destroyed. Players have been spotted. Not only that, Rady has taken down Kashao immediately. Viper's Pit ultimate has been used here. Let's see what is going to happen here. On the course, Jumpers will plant the spike.
Spike planted.
It is going to be really quickly getting trade. So 2v4 right now, both the players playing inside the Viper's Pit. Rady trying to make her way towards them, trying to see if she can find anybody. And Abati still has that solar drone. Give away so much information. Elika will be spotted and will be sprayed down through the Viper's Pit with that lovely solar arrow. 2v3 right now, very doable as Japan gets another
Player
one.
standing.
However, Mythica will go down. That's going to be the end of the Viper's Pit, and it will catch Chapeeps off guard as Baila will be able to take it down. That's going to be the diffuse coming through. That round looked pretty promising for OG, especially after this plays coming in from Mythica and Hasoa. Pretty heroic, I would say. 2v4, they almost made it work, but that kill onto Mythica was the round changer, the game changer. And I really love how Entrare is playing this, because they realized that the side of Orangutan is made for a really aggressive push. Sure, they have a lot of flashes, they have some snake bites, they have Soa Recon and the KO 0 point and stuff, but you only use it when you're pushing. It's gonna, the recharge time or the number of uses is gonna be limited. And they are doing very precise, very fast retakes, which is really working in their favor. The comp they're running, it seems like while it might seem like a
Get out of my way.
a very conventional comp, they are making it work really well.
And they are working flawlessly here. Let's see, with 3 versus 4 ultimates, 1 ultimate has already been used coming in from Team OG here. Mid will be taken care by Snack, and we have seen Snack snacking the mid entirely, getting as many frags as possible. So we're ready with the Blade Storm, and this is the moment that we were waiting for. And let's see, are we going to see any heads getting chopped and diced? Kachao on the course is trying to get the side entry. 0 point is also available, can be used immediately, but on the course, Rady is trying to hold very far away, not being spotted, not being suppressed. And on the course, Casper has also used the Empress here. Kachao ready as well with his null command, and I think these 3 ultimates together are going to work wonders. But on the course, they are still not able to plant the spike. Kachao made it possible, and now taking the retake here is not going to be very easy with 5 players still being alive. Talk about that. Snake, the flag takes down Sway immediately.
That's objective if I ever saw one. The counter coming in as Japeeps pops the Hunter's Fury, but will not catch anybody, and it's gonna be a 4v5 attack on a disadvantage. The Sword will try to those players. Will spot one, but Casper will get one. That's gonna be a good coming. Kacha was really low. They will pick up. She was getting another one. Lovely headshot with the trade will come through from Jackie. Kacha will take out Snack as well. Just two players left right now for Entrare Esports, but two players on Orangutan was so low here. They do not have any HP to work with. One bullet will kill them, but timer has been ticking, and it is going to be a save coming in for Entrare here, and the spike will explode successfully. It is going to be finally them stopping the bleeding. After 4 rounds being lost in a row, they will be able to get a win.
And I think this was supposed to be done a little earlier, but what took them to win this round, it was a total of three ultimates and all full by weaponaries. I think that is exactly how they were winning this round. And looking on the other side right now, Entrare has got four ultimates ready into their pocket, or they force revive. So now not only we can compare them going 6v5 for the very next round, and we can expect the lead getting higher and higher. On the course, Bella will go behind the yellow boxes, but the
Here.
players are revealed right on time, and Bella's positioning
found
is
my
revealed
trap.
also by the 0 point being deployed. And Avanti is waiting far away just in case the spike gets planted, but it is going to be an easier to go ahead, plant the spike right in the open, and yes, will be the answer shot
Spike
that will be
planted.
used.
Out of time.
Still, spike successfully planted. 4 versus 5 will be the situation. With that, null command will be activated here.
The Al command is going to shift on a lot of utility coming in from these players here, especially that Sova utility. The drone will not be able to come through. It's going to cause so much problem. Look at Mythica's position. No one expects her here. She will get one, will take down Brady. Will spot another couple players as well. Gets second as well on Avanti, and she's just going to fall back. Gets a headshot through the wall onto Baila as well. She will take a lot of damage, so the Mythica is going to be really
Last
low here.
player
Trying to
standing.
snake bite,
Can't use
and
that.
Snack will be able to get the kill. But it's going to be just Snack left right now in a 1v4. There's no time yet. She just wants to go for these exits. Will turn at the wrong time. I don't think she's spotted the player. And it is going to be a win yet again to the side of Orangutan, which is going to be equalizing score. Then Casper will hunt down Snack. That's going to be no rifle save. I think that the side of team Entrare does have enough money to go in for a reasonable buy. Bella does have that tour de force to play with, but overall it's looking pretty rough because a lot of the players, it's going to be one player on light armor, and Bella doesn't have enough money for a gun. I think Snack, I'm very surprised to see that Snack isn't using that operator, because one of the main assets with having a jet on Icebox is that you can run an operator, you can shut down like a lot of very key sidelines, which are pretty easy to hold honestly with an operator. But I think Snack, she wants to play aggressive, she wants to go in and get those picks, and that is going to be the reason why she's not going to choose
Wall
it.
raised.
And over here, once again, mid will be locked in. Avanti waiting for four players to join in. 0 Point has revealed the position exactly and also suppressed his utilities on the course. Avanti will take down the sway. And on the verge of taking second, but Casper will take down Avanti. The trade did happen. 4 versus 4 is the situation. Kachao will once again go
Spike
ahead, plant the
planted.
spike safely. Bella with tour de force. How many frags are we going to spot here? And quite far away, the players are trying to go play hide. And Casper with the Empress mode on, we can expect some immediate flags also coming in, but with no blinds. Pushing makes no sense here because spike is planted. Now this time it is going to be Entrare who needs to make sure to do whatever it takes to just push it in, because they have lost 2 rounds back to back, and this is going to be a hat trick. If at all they are going to lose it, and they are going to have fun, it is not going to be any bad economy to them on the course. We can see snake bite being used right on time. Casper taking down Elika.
One
Japit's
enemy remaining.
ready with that last man standing. And how long will he stand? Whoa! Bella will be able to take down Casper with the tour de force and self-elimination.
I mean, if Baila decides to stay alive, she will not be receiving any money apart from the 1,000 credits. So I think that she does want to try and get that extra money coming in, that losers bonus as well. And it is going to be Entrare Esports who are going to be taking a time out because they just lost 3 rounds in a row. They won 4 in a row. Now they've lost 3 in a row, and they want to reassess where exactly they are going wrong, because they are on defense right now, but they need to get as many rounds as possible because their team comp isn't exactly one that's ideal for attack here. They do have the firepower on Snack being Jet and being their star duelist, but it might not be enough here because looking at the team comp, it's going to be Baila or Rady who is going to be on the lurk a lot and will have to try and do a lot of damage while Snack creates space on some other site. Either way, though, they will have to get as many rounds as possible on this defensive try and have an advantage going into this next half. What do you think about this?
They do have an advantage to go with the lead, but we have seen from 0-4 to 4-4, it has been a situation coming in from Team Entrare here. Once again, the lead is recovered. Sure, they do have weaponaries required, they have everything, but will they be able to continue with the lead? Because every single time they do win 2 rounds, 3 rounds back to back, and ultimately there comes a very bad full stop for at least 2 rounds. Let's see if there's going to be any change here. Ready going for a half shield. I really don't know why. Okay, switching it to a full buy, full shield for sure. You have to do that. Except Elika, everybody will be going with some phantoms, with some vandals. Still, no op spotted. Snack ready with the blade storm on side A, and the players are not getting immediate commitment here, and they are going towards mid. Sway has got a good positioning here, and two jets have already faced each other. They know the location, they know the position, but nobody is going to take the initiative here. Nobody wants to lose a jet immediately, right?
Yeah, of course not. You don't want to use, especially for the side of defense, you don't want to lose your star notice, especially when she has that blade storm. You know, it's the ultimate. It's one of the ultimates that can create the most devastating damage. And the KO 0.0 tag is either. It's gonna be the A side available
Spike
for
planted.
free as a spike builds up still good on Snap using one of our blades will not hit anybody. He has 4 blades left. Try and get a kill here for that reset to happen. Is watching this angle, but nobody seems to be coming in here. Avanti though will take down Sway, who was on the look, and that is going to be Sway gone. It's going to be a 4v5 right now. Again, advantage for the side of Entrare Esports. As Avanti will get a second kill on Japanese here. They know that there's at least one player backstab, and Casper will take down Snacks, but really
One enemy remaining.
just one player left right now. All down to Shout. Will get one, but the trade will come through, and the spike defuse will come through as well. That's gonna be that timeout working out really well for Entrare Esports.
And it is a seesaw situation coming in, Zach. Every single time a team takes a lead, once again they are taken down. The score was 4-5, turning it off 5-5, and once again they are going to balance it out. Somehow these girls are able to balance that out. But talking about this particular round, each and every team has got all the weaponaries required, and that is exactly what they are here for. Once again, side A does look overcommitted here, except for one player who is going to be Mythica, playing a little away, using the default lineup of a Viper on side B, and that is for the confusion basis, I suppose, because ultimately all 5 stack pushing it in, and that is how they are able to get an easier entry. And not only entry, they are able to plant the spike as well. Sway getting an entry, sure, no frag spotted yet. 0 point deployed. Intel required is totally known, and on the course, Viper's Fit is used very wisely. Spike will be planted by Kashao, and how long will they be able to hold under it?
OG Snake gets the first thing on the snack, and Casper is
enemy
waiting here.
remaining.
Will get one, will get 2. Jumpy will take down Elika as well. That's gonna leave just Rady on her lonesome, and even they say that she's gonna go down this way. A beautiful round coming in from them, like you mentioned, that base
Last
from
round
with that
in the
ball on
half.
B side. Immediate rotation coming in from the side of Entrare, moving towards CT. That's gonna leave the A side vulnerable. And Mythica, she planned for this because she knew that she had her Viper Spit. She knew that, you know, once she can get onto site, she will be able to pop it, and that's gonna, you don't need any smokes after you pop the Viper Spit, right? Or most of your team can play around it or play it. And they managed to get the round off of that. And of course, Casper, so alert, watching the flank, getting not 1 but 2 kills, even though the players knew her location. She's really making things happen, and it's gonna be 5-6. Orangutan just in the lead here. And Charlie would like to try and win this round, close things out. And it's gonna be Snap. He's pushing super aggressively here already. Will push through Mythica's op here, poison op here. She tries to get a pick. Now 1 but 2 players. It's gonna be Mythica though who gets 1 first. Snack though might be able to catch it off guard. No, Mythica's ready for it. Gets 3 kills already towards mid with that push. Proving devastating to Entrare Esports here. Mythica still holding down the fort for her team.
It was amazing. Going through mid, going aggressive, getting 3 picks already, and now turning it to an equalizer is a no chance. It is going to
Spot
be a
planted.
win round for sure. Going to V4 is very, very difficult with Empress mode ready coming in from Casper, and ready trying to get a tight entry with the Venom Cloud. Let's see if there's going to be an easier entry coming in. Well, 0 point will also be used. Still, 2 versus 4 is not very easy. Ready will be taken down. It is Sway who ends the deal, and also uses the ultimate. And I think this is a problem moment,
Switching
ending the
sides.
attacker side with 2 points of lead. And mind you, Zach, well, once the match was starting, we did talk about it how Icebox is the defender friendly map, and now here attackers are having the lead. So imagine on the attacker side, if they are able to create the lead, they are going to dominate on the defender's side.
I mean, you would think so, but the lineup isn't exactly conducive because it's gonna be very difficult for them to control it because they don't have the chamber trademark to give alert if somebody's in kitchen. Somebody will constantly have to play towards mid as well as kitchen here because otherwise there's gonna be no information. Lurks can do so much damage here, but I think that they're gonna try and combat that by just playing really, really aggressively. We have seen this coming in from these girls before, super aggressive plays, lots of pushes coming in, lots of picks coming in, and if that's the case, well, yeah, I think that they do have this in the bag. However, Entrare doesn't seem ready to give up. They do have a lot of things they can pull. They have the Sova shock nuts as well as the Viper snake bites, with which if they can get the plant, they can hold on for days. Especially if they manage to get the Hunter's Fury online as well. Both of these agents, Sova and Viper, a lot of utility to prevent the diffuse of the spike. Lots of both the ultimates can do lots of damage and again prevent any kind of retake of the site for the spike to be diffused. And of course, let's talk about Snack's jet. I think that at this point, while Sway is doing a fantastic job, Snack is just something else today.
Snack is definitely doing something great today and going through mid, pushing it through mid, and doing all the required work here on the course. Ready will go for the toxic screen, and are they going to get an easier entry here because they do look 5 stack ready, pushing it on site B. Two players are already waiting for them. They do have one duelist alongside a Viper controller, and toxic screens are used, but Snack doesn't have to wait for anything. Casper will be immediately taken down. With that, it is a 5 versus 4 situation, and the spike shall be planted right on time. The wall has been used as well. Japips try to go ahead, deliver those shock darts, but on the course, Bera will take down Sway, turning it to a 3v5 affair, and the wall is down. Spike is down as well, safe and sound, and the will also go back foot. This is pistol only round. There's not much more that can be done, but utilities can definitely change the gameplay here, even with the pistols here. Let's see if there's going to be any change coming in with 2 more players remaining. Zach, I think
Last
Entrare
player
made it.
standing.
Entrare definitely seems to have this round in the bag, like you mentioned here, Tanya, as it's going to be just Japanese right now in the 1v5 more or less. Gets one, but 4 players left to take down. Misses a little bit of shots onto Rady, and that's going to be the round comfortably going in the favor of Entrare Esports there. And what a round coming in from them on the attack because they played really patiently. OG was aware that they were going to be coming onto the B side, but they really paid for their aggressiveness. You saw the lurk on mid from Baila, waiting for Sway to be pushing down. She knew that it's gonna be an A push probably coming in, and Baila was able to get that kill. The trades coming in. Elika, man, I wish I had that much confidence in my teammates when I'm trying to plant the spike because that was some superb defensive Elika coming in from Rady that who managed to cover her and make sure that it was the spike that went down very comfortably and Elika stayed.
And the players here from Entrare are also looking very comfortable on side. They're trying to push it in and all in. Not only 1 or 2 player, and as soon as I say that, they are going for the rotation and they're going for side 3, and on the course Team OG will go ahead, stack a site entirely, and Bella literally waiting for the players to just pop right in front of them, in front of her indeed. And on the course once again, Elika going with the same move, ball used, spike planted, Mythica trying to get the site entry. Is it going to be any easier? No will be the answer. Wall wisely used once again, and this is exactly we were talking about on the map of Icebox, not only on the defender side but also on the attacker side. Sage can make difference here. A fake defuse attempt was spotted here. Shock darts are being used on the course. Avanti is picked down by Sway's right kick.
Yep, it is going to be Snack getting the trades, so Casper taking a lot of damage. Second kill on to Lady.
enemy remaining.
Take her down.
Last player
Just
standing.
Sway left out now. 4 kills already on the classic. Just 1 player left. Knows the location of the last player as well. But Bela, she will take her down. And what a round coming in from Sway because although they did lose the round, they did a lot of damage. That's a lot of pistols. as well as Spectres lost. So I think at least three Spectres were dropped. It's going to put them on the back foot here. They will either have to go in for a commit and buy rifles, all of them, or they will have to go for a save. And they are going to be going for a commit. It will make sure that one or two of the players will be stuck on half armor or might not have all the utility. And it is going to be Vila who will keep that Spectre. But nevertheless, it is going to be a full buy for both these teams right now. That's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out, because usually, you see a bonus round coming in after the pistol, and the round after that, you see a team continuing to play with their existing Spectres or Bulldogs or even like Sheriffs they have from the previous round. But it's not going to be the case here. Both these teams are going to be going in for a full buy, and I don't think Entrare wants to let this go. They've equalized scores and they want to take the lead here with their lineup.
Oh, are they going to get any lead on the attacker side as well? They are playing it very well. They are retaking five stack, and now that is very rare. Do we spot that without losing any players? They are able to take a entire ice box rotation and going towards different side, going to site A, trying to confuse the opponents here right now. Odisho, and then going for a retake, five stack retake. Mythica having some ping issues, looking AFK right now. That is a technical pause, ladies and gentlemen. But talking about the gameplay here, the seesaw is still going to continue here. It is going to be 7-7 score, going equal. Except I would want to talk about Casper a little. On the attacker side, we did spot Casper being the top fragger no matter what. But here on the defender's side, not even a single pick has been taken by her. And I think personally, pushing it in on the defender side is not going to work wonders, sure, but I think getting a pick, maybe trade it down or whatsoever, that is going to that is going to create a defect, because the team standing tall with all 5 men tall, I think that is not causing any bit of harm, and they are able to flawlessly win all the rounds even on the attackers side right now. Because if you have a look at their agent selection, they only have one duelist to work out with, and now with double inning setup, they are not able to block it.
Definitely, it is proving really, really troublesome for them. I think the key to this is for Orangutan to try and make this work is going to be controlled aggression, especially on that A side. So I think that they should commit at least two players to try and push the A side out. They can either rotate back to spawns or they can go for a flank. The flank will be spotted, of course, because of the chamber, but they know that Baila usually lurks towards mid alone. And if those two players can take care of her or even treat each other, making it a 4v4, it's gonna create a lot of chaos on the side of Entrare Esports. They will not know if anybody else is flanking. They'll have to devote a player to watch that, and in the end, it will cause a lot of confusion and possibly help create an advantage for the side of Orangutan here. Like you mentioned, though, looking at the lineup, they are having a tough time on defense here because it's proving really, really hard for their players to hold sides. They are trying to play for a retake, but again, the utility coming in from Entrare is just perfect as a counter. They are not able to do much. Orangutan, they really have to try and figure things out. They do have a technical pause. They can think it over to see what they can do better, how they can go ahead and win it. But right now, things are looking a little bit scary for them. Looking at the last couple of rounds.
And the worst part is they lost a full buy round, and now this time once again they will have to go for the safe round. They will have to go for the pistols or maybe some specters and marshals, and now that is going to change an entire scenario. Not only that, they might also have to lose a round. Though talking about losing or winning, still long time to go. The score is 7-7, very very equalized here, and the players are still looking very comfortable towards side A. Once again, I think the same play set will be used. They are going to go ahead with the fake A, going for the rotation, and there's nobody holding side B for the back end entry. It is like they are totally allowed to go for this entry, and they are planting the spike without any disturbances, and then they are picking up any sort of fights on the course. Even if they have to lose one or two players, it's fine because the spike is already planted and there's nothing much more to lose. So this retake play can be controlled, but for that they will have to go let loose one player holding a backstab attempt.
I think definitely it is going to be pretty rough for them if that's the case. Looking at where the agents are playing though on the A side, it is going to be Sway as well as the Sova playing, and I think that's fantastic because when you have the Jet, you can make some of those really really aggressive plays, push up onto top of box, or even take the ropes to the opposite side into nest. And the thing is that as a Jet, you can use your dash to try and escape, you can get a quick fall back, and you'll be perfectly fine. The Sova as well will give some early information for Sway as she aggresses. So getting control of A side with those two is relatively relatively easy task. Meanwhile, though, on the B side, it is going to be the KO playing. Again, the KO 0 point knife will give a lot of info as to whether anyone is playing that or not and can help shut down utility like Avanti, So, or Joan. So I think the way these players are playing is really interesting. Something that might work in their favor is a push, like I mentioned, not just from A, but also maybe from mid. If Mythica or Casper can clear tubes or play inside tubes, because I think that it is going to be tempting for the side of Orangutan to push. I'm sorry, for the side of Entrare Esports to try and push that mid angle. They might try to go for it, and if that's being read correctly by Entrare, they might be able to make the round work in their favor. Either way, though, this is going to be one of the most crucial rounds of the map because Team Entrare Esports, instead of playing the bonus, they did lose 4 of their players in the previous round after the pistol. They are going to be going in committing full on for a full buy, so both these teams will be having rifles in hand, and it's going to come down to who can win the round properly, because whoever loses this is going to be pushed into an eco, and it's going to create a lot of damage. It's going to create like a lead of at least 2 rounds and make things pretty rough for the team. When you're that close, when you're 9-7, it easily becomes 10-7 and so on. It's going to give momentum. It's going to be really hard to catch momentum after that. So I think both of these teams will be looking to capitalize off of this and try and win this round.
They will have to try something unique. They will have to try something out of the box within the game, just like the screen shows us. And let's see if they are trying to pull some new trick out of the hat, or are they going for the repetition. And talking about the mid tubes, I don't think they are willing to go mid anyway. They are looking forward for the rotation from the exact positioning of for the spawn side, and there's nobody there for sure. They're very clean about it. They are very confident about it. All they have to do is fake A, rotate, go plant the spike on B with the wall orb being used by Elika FTW, and then they are playing it post plant entirely. Entire battles are picked that way, but this time once again, four stack trying to enter towards site A, and Sua's dart could not reveal anything, at least not yet. Mythica holding a good angle here shall be able to pick one frag for sure, but not being any easier here. Snack is also holding, no rush whatsoever, but this time they are not going for a retake. I don't know why. They have a commitment towards site A this time, 200% sure.
I mean, definitely, A site is one of the hardest sites to retake, because once you get the spike down, you can play from nest, you can play all the way back, towards belt, you can play on site. It's really, really hard to retake it as a site. And they've made enough noise on the A side that there's been quite a bit of commitment. There's been that recon coming through. There has been the Viper wall coming up, so that's going to be on time as well. It's going to come down to Kachao here. She is going to be the point of contact. Casper as well, making her way back towards mid. And I think the side of Entrare is just a little bit conflicted as to where to go right now. They do seem to be opting for a B execute, in fact, and it is going to be a pretty easy hit here, because it's going to be just Kachao on
30
top of
seconds
here.
left.
Will be spotted. Viper wall will go, and the plan should be coming relatively quickly here. And Kachao is going to fall back out to the moment. A little bit of spray coming through, trying to get a kill, but it's not going to come.
Cutting their vision.
Go come through as well. Casper will pop that Reyna's leer. And meanwhile, though, it's going to be Sway towards mid, who's going to be facing down by mostly, but Sway will get the timing.
10
Like,
seconds left.
Just 10 seconds left, and the spike isn't even down, just being planted. Will they be able to
Spike
plant
planted.
and then defend it?
The spike planted right on time. How will they be able to guard it? Because this time they haven't lost. They have lost from there. It is going to be a 4 versus 4 affair. The wall is diminished short within few seconds, and Snack still try to get an angle here to get the pick here through the yellow boxes. But Mythica will be able to take down Snack here, trying to go ahead with some recon that more information here, and ultimately. Finally, we do see Team OG winning a round as a defender, with 3 players still being alive. It was a full round fight, and I think they made it enough. It was not so flawless, yet enough to create pressure on the opponents, and the clock was ticking quite too quick for Team Entrare.
It is going to be OG taking the advantage here as well as the lead. And like I mentioned before, it's going to push Entrare into an eco here. They do have Radi's Viper's Pit to play with, as well as Elika's Resurrection. But we haven't really, seen both of these ultimates being used much. We might see Radi's Pit being used because, when you're on attack, it can be really nice and easy to plant the spike. But I don't think we've seen a single Resurrection coming in from Elika so far. Meanwhile, though, it's going to be Sway it is going to be Sway, though, who is popping her Blade Storm here, trying to see if she can get a pick off of it here. She goes really aggressive when she has that Blade Storm, but she is playing it relatively chill towards the A side, and it's going to be a full-on mid push right now. Cube is taken, Kitchen is taken, as they have control, but where will they go from here? Where can they plant the spike?
They want to use the mid route. They haven't been using it since they have switched to attacker side, and I think this is the exact time that they can make most use out of it. But
Spike
Jippy
down
was
B.
waiting for Elika, and this is for the very first time. Spike goes under the control of Team OG here, but Bella will be able to take down two players immediately. Set out trying to take down a 1-2 with the grenade coming in from Chaos.
One enemy remaining.
Last player, clutchable sure, but will Sway be able to clutch it? Not yet. Snack ready. 0 point has been. Here will take down Snack and also a triple for herself. With that, 2 points lead coming in. Finally, the seesaw will come for a pause here. 2 points of lead spotted. And talking about the operator, Sway with the Jet will be spotted with the operator on the defender side. And this is the moment that we all were waiting for. Jet and operator is a duo that is treat to the eyes. And talking on the other side for Entrare, Snack being the top fragger, sure doing working wonders. And this time the Blade Storm is ready for the team Entrare. Not only that, we have got Resurrection, we have got Viper's Pit ready. We can expect an aggressive entry coming in. Will they go aggressive once again? A pattern spotted here, but the Chow was definitely waiting.
Spike
So was
down
Sway.
A.
3 players down. Spike goes under the control of Team OG.
More than that, that's a very, very key ultimate. That's the way when Snack went in, she could have gotten rest, but Elika, she wasn't able to get the trade, was not ready for Kachao swinging out on her, and that's gonna be her going down. There is still the Viper's Pit available, but the spike is dropped. It's gonna be Casper Sway guarding it with their lives here. Kachao as well, a little bit low, but overall, it's gonna make things really tough. The spike has been picked up by the Viper, but once the sites have been
remaining.
locked down, as I say, that's
Spike
where we'll
down
get that
A.
onto Rady. Just the chamber left right now. Baila left all alone in a 1v5. And this is the worst part because if Orangutan wins this, they're going to be at 10 points. The next round is going to be an eco coming in as well, probably for the side of Baila. For the side of Entrare, it's going to make things really tough for them. Casper will go down to Baila. But 4 players left for her to find. The location is known as a well. Shock is coming in from Jeppy, chipping at it. And Sway though will in fact miss a shot and go down to Baila.
30
Left in a
seconds
1v3, 30 seconds left on the clock. Spike still dropped on Bell. Knows the location of at least 2 players, but I don't think she spotted Mythica yet. Does not know that if she's coming from CT or if she's going to be pushing as a flank. And it's going to be 15 seconds to make thing happen. Kachao doing a little bit of damage. Both these players falling back, and Kachao with the 3K taking Orangutan to 10 points.
Kachao taking the early 2 picks, I think that was a game changer, and that was much more than required. And they are having 3 points of lead right now. Talking about Casper, once again picking up the pace which she lost on the once she was switched to defender's side. Once again picking up the pace, but I would also appreciate Mythica's play set, working wonders, being a controller, getting an entire control on the side. With that, also is able to get so many frags on the way. Talking about the player split, they are going for the 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. 3 players
You
towards
want to
side A and
play?
2
Let's
towards
play.
side 3 for side B and 2 for side A. This is all for the chaos and confusion. There's no information that is going to come be here. Should be that is going to be spotted here, and the players on the
Spike
court.
down
Casper will
B.
take down Elika immediately. The spike control going in the hands of team OG, and not only that, Snack with Blade Storm was taken down by Casper. 3 versus
Standing
4.
spike. There is going to be spike dropped, and like you mentioned, sorry for cutting you off, there was an accident. It was going to be a 3 versus 4. Things not looking very good for Entrare as Orangutan goes closer and closer to the match point here. Casper falling back is going to be Kachao, who re-aggresses, has that flash ready to peek with. Both these players holding down the B side, locking it down. Bella waiting for a peek to see if somebody is going to be looking into the deadly crosshair of the Total Force, but the side of Orangutan seems to be too wise to play into that. Japeeps, though, seems to be thinking about it, but decides against it because she knows how dangerous it can prove. 3 players left right now have to try and make this work, because if they lose this, it's going to make things even more of. Baila has not 1, but 2 operators to play with now as she manages to
30
pick up
seconds
Sway's
left.
dropped Ion operator.
2 operators and 3 players alive, and on the other side, on team OG side, they do have 4 ultimates ready. So winning this round is a little difficult, and right on time Ready will be using Viper's Pet because the clock is ticking. Once again, it's only 11 seconds,
10 seconds
and the
left.
clock being clock ticking immediately, and Bella pushing it in with the double operator is able to get 1 frag, and the spike planter is killed. With that, the round going into the favor of Team OG once again. With only one ultimate, they were able to win this round. I was expecting a little more chaos, a little more of havoc coming in from four ultimates being ready, but they don't have to go so much beyond the efforts required. They're going very subtle. They are going very smooth with their play set.
Definitely, and I think Casper has woken up because, man, what were those headshots coming in from it? Precise stabs, just holding an angle, knowing that players will walk into her deadly crosshair. It's gonna be 3 still left to the side of OG, like you mentioned. Casper might even decide to give us a show by popping that Empress here. And again, this is what I mean with the Jet. You can make the play this I think not be punished for it as she goes all the way up towards A main. Meanwhile, though, it's going to be a B execute here, a very standard one coming from the side of Entrare. This is one of the last chances to prevent the side of Orangutan to get the match point here. They're just going to be pushing B hardcore. And that's the thing, Kachao does have that null command. It's going to shut down all the utility. It's going to shut down the wall, the recon, the road, anything that could possibly come forward. It's going to spot Avanti here. She is going to be isolated and stuck there. Shock Darts coming in, doing quite a bit of damage to her. Kachao, she's stuck between Kachao and the Shock Darts. 42 HP left on her in a really, really bad position here. Somehow still alive. Meanwhile, that's going to be Snack, who is running in and trying to clear the way onto that A side. And Sway is here again. Will get that first kill onto Rady. One player is left for it fine. Will miss on Elika. Quite a bit of damage there. Elika should be able to get the rest.
Finally, a resurrection spotted here with that, turning it to a 3v5 from 3v5 to a 4v5 affair, 7-11 match point. And I think they are a step closer here. Casper literally knows about how the opponents are going to push in.
30 seconds
Rady
left.
will be able to save herself, move away from the first level of Casper now, and not for so long. Not for so long. Blind being used, aggressive push coming in, but on the fourth element, will be able to plant push by Bella, taken down by Kashao. Turning it to a 2v5, very difficult. There is still not impossible one. And Mac and Elika are able to trade the players immediately with one player coming. Sway will put a shutdown there as well, and the spike will be diffused. It is match point for Team OG.
For a second, it looked so promising. There was this mix coming in from both Snack and Elika, but it wasn't good enough. And like you mentioned, finally, after 19 rounds, we are going to be seeing a resurrection coming in. Either way, though, OG, they are so close to closing this out. Just need one more round. And things don't look very good for the side of Entrare here because they are able to somehow pull together money for these rifles, but they have to win 5 rounds in a row to try and bring it to overtime. And it's not just about how you play; it's about your mental as well. And I don't know. It takes a lot of mental strength to try and make it from 7-12 to 12-12. They might not be ready for it, but hopefully they are because I would like to see a good banger of a match in our hands. It's gonna be Sway again playing really really aggressively, and Elika will get that first pick onto Casper. It's like she pre-fired her almost. Looking at that. Chavo still playing that. There's so much recon coming in, and it's gonna be Avanti who's flashed. But Elika's ready for it. Will get that kill. 2 kills already. Hasn't taken a single bit of damage yet. Elika, is proving that she wants her team to try and go boldly, that they can do it, and a lot of one-time damage coming in for Bella here. She will go down. 3v4 retake attempt coming in for Orangutan to try and win this game.
And for Team Entrare, side B has been a little extra promising compared to side A. I think they have done good work. They have planted the spike forward. With the operator and the sheriff will waste out the wall right now. And the side peak coming in. Will there be any fix though? Is the question, and it is a win round. All the ultimates finally confused here. Late from Sway, not in the entire match, but ultimately by the end of the match, she was spotted, but diffusion stands no chance here. Elika here missed an ace by 1 kill. Okay for Elika FTW.
That was some heroics coming in because 4 kills, that beautiful recon from Avanti as well was able to let them spot these players out through the Viper's pit and get those kills. Well played by both of them, I would say, but especially Elika because that was just raw aim coming in from it. That's going to be two more ults on the board as well, 2 very integral ults. It's going to be the resurrection again. We just saw it last time. We're going to see it again already in just one more round in Elika's hands. Avanti as well does have that Hunter's Fury ready. So again, if they can get the spike down, there's a lot of stuff they can do. And they've decided to do what works for them. They are are going to be trying to go towards B and mid again. Sway though is not content, is going to be pushing really aggressively towards that A side. Look at Layla's position, already has tubes control. I think that Jepips might be able to catch up with the drone here, and yep, will be doing so. But it's going to be Baila who falls back here. Will be able to safely TP away and not get wall bang like the last time. However, though, it's gonna be a really, really unfortunate peak coming in from
Spike
Casper. She
down
will take
B.
an Elika. That's gonna be the resurrection of the board, and she will spot the Sova as well going here. So Casper, no, they know her position, but she is not falling back. She is hungry for more kills here, as she is still trying to hold down B long.
Cloudburst used for a while. It is a breather. And on the course, two players have already made a rotation towards side A. Little do they know that side A is not vacant. They are already an uninvited guests waiting for them. What are they going to be served with? Nothing but bullets. Japips is also serving Bella some bullets here. And Casper going Empress more on. Last house enter
Revealing
the
area.
lobby. Down of the lobby. Here we are witnessing 2 versus 5
30
for the
seconds
Luna.
left.
And let's see who is going to win away the very first match for the day. Mythic also setting a good angle. Player trying to get an entry. Is it going to be a easy entry? It is going to be wiped if at all the players are going to come
One
on
enemy remaining.
as they are going to have a
Ace.
crossfire. With that, the team,
Defenders
each player
win.
getting 1 kill, and the defenders team Orangutan win the very first match for the day. WD Black Cup Season 3 for Luna.
Yep, it is going to be Orangutan winning the first match of this tournament and winning it in a very, very convincing manner. For convincing manner, you did think that it was going to be a really, really close match, and it did seem that way for a while because I think at one point we were at 7-7. But like I mentioned, the team that was going to win that round was going to swing the momentum in their favor and will be able to take rounds going forward. And it is going to be Orangutan, which indeed does that. And I think towards the second half, I think Casper heard you, Tanya. I think she got a little angry when you said she didn't get a single kill that half hit because after that she just popped off. The number of times she popped her Empress, the number of first blood she got. I'm really excited to see. How she stacked them up compared to the rest of her team. But overall, I think Orangutan as a team just played so much better. The 5 woman rushes, there were a lot of trades happening, a lot of good utility, and especially I have to commend Mythica here because the way she played Viper, the angle she was holding, and the way that she managed to toss her snake bites down and combine them with the Sova shock darts or the Hunter's Fury from her Sova was just phenomenal there.
That was phenomenal. And at a single point, Zach, I'll be very honest. When the sides were switched, I thought for a moment that there was no scope now on the defender's side. They are going to work it out so smoothly, but ultimately, after the third round, I don't know what switched their mind. They were able to split the players exactly required: two on B, one on mid, two on A, and they were not rotating on those fake calls because for 3 consecutive rounds they did fall for it. They were going for the fake call on A and rotating, planning the spike, winning the round flawlessly. But there was a change. By the time they did realize that we are being played, so they outplayed them with the victory.
Definitely. And I think another, reason for the victory was going to be Sway on A. You saw how aggressive she was with her operator. She managed to push out and clear it all the way to lobby. And she knew that there was nobody on the A side. So she was able to give a call to her teammates like, hey man, look, I've got A side. It's okay. If they even peek, they're dead. You guys just have to hold B and mid. And that enabled them to really hold B and mid because you saw that even if they could get the spike down by some kind of miracle, they always did so at a disadvantage. And the retake coming in was just phenomenal. The flashes, the SOA recons, and overall, I think Orangutan just proved that they were the stronger team today. Though there were some standout performances coming in, especially from Snack for the side of Team Entrare.
It was a good set of play. Ultimately, gradually, the players who were also on the bottom half, they showed their set of skills by the end of the day, but it was quite too late for Team Entrare for showing those sort of skills of 4K, 3K. They were already on the lead at some point, but going aggressive through the mid, which made no sense because they wanted to go ahead and get a side control. But on the other side, they made sure of that the split coming in from the defender's side was even enough to control aggression from any direction. And I think that is what made it possible for Team Orangutan. And talking about Casper, a wonderfully played map. And I was not expecting Casper going as a Reina today.
Neither was I because I'm so used to seeing her on the chamber that it felt really weird to see her as Arena again. But I think she was feeling herself today because man, did she hit some nutty shots, really, really, fragging out for her team, doing a lot of damage. And I think that Orangutan they'll be very happy to move on and continue putting up the performance that they put up today, the rest of this tournament.
Still, there's long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. The journey has just begun. The Luna Cup has just begun. This is season three for WD Black Cup coming in from Esports partner Sky Esports. Make sure you subscribe. You hit the subscribe button just in case if you have not. And on the course, we're also ready with the scoreboard for Team Orangutan versus Team Entrare. And this is exactly what it is. 8 is to 13 and Orangutan winning the day. Talking about MVP, Mythica was playing wonderfully well as a controller. And talking about the jet of the team, Entrare, Avanti also played beautifully.
I mean, looking at the performance for both of these teams, it's Snack really doing her best for a team that does have 16 frags at 233 ACS, but unfortunately, it isn't going to be enough to propel the team forward. Look at the consistency coming in for the side of Orangutan. All the players with the really high ACS and very positive KDA. Almost 2.0 in fact for all the players except for Sway, and even Sway, she has a 1.3. It's not exactly anything to scoff at. And this was a surprise for me because I thought the MVP was going to be Casper here, but it is going to be Mythica stealing it away with just 7 ACS higher, and it is going to be Orangutan, like you mentioned, taking the win, and a well deserved win because looking at this scoreboard, you can see how, as a team, they perform so much better than the side of Entrare. But it was a really nice try coming in from the Entrare roster. Like, I know that a lot of these girls are playing together for less than a week, if not a bit more than that. But either way, they put up like a really, really strong performance. And the match was a thriller for me. Like, up to 7-7, I had my heart in my hands. I wasn't sure who was going to win or who was going to lose. And it looked like they were giving Orangutan a run for their money here.
Absolutely. Until 7-7, it was an entire confusion. Not even a single moment where I felt that, yeah, Team Orangutan is trying to go ahead, get the lead. It was a seesaw moment. Ultimately, when we hit 7-9, and that is where we started getting to see the lead coming in from Team Orangutan. And that is the turning point, where Orangutan never looked back, except for one loss on the way. The spike was not diffused even after using so many ultimates when the score was 12-7. And I think that did matter, sure thing. But talking about Team Orangutan on the attacker side, they were quite equal in comparison. The score was also very equal. It was exactly 6-6. But on the defenders side, they were tricked repeatedly, and ultimately the realization point came a little later. And I think once they realized, they never looked back. They were going onwards and upwards, and I think the victory is the proof of it.
Definitely onwards and upwards it is as they move on to our round of 16 after today's match. Meanwhile, though, we will be saying goodbye to Entrare Esports, but I really hope that they manage to figure out how to coordinate better as a team. And one final thing, I'd like to point out the usage of ultimates by both of these teams. But I think that overall, the usage of ultimates by the side of Team Orangutan was just better because they did not commit too many of them. The ones that they committed, they always did a lot of damage with them. And, it's like they knew exactly in which situation to use it and how to do it. There wasn't any kind of panic visible from the side of Orangutan. So, yeah, I think overall it was just a really fantastic game coming in from both these teams. And I feel very happy to cast it. So, in case you did miss it, though, we are going to be showing you the highlights of this match happening very soon. This is the first match of the WDD Black Cup Season 3, and this is just the first one. We have way more coming for you, so do tune in every day to watch the Luna Cup powered by AMD, esports partner Sky Esports. And yeah, I think if this is how the matches are going to be every day, I think I should get some kind of stress medicine in place.
Well, definitely, you don't need stress. Let's go for the cheers count on one, two, three. Let's go ahead for the drink.
Cheers.
and uh, and freshen ourselves, charge ourselves for the frags happening, for the fights happening, because after the score was the break even point was gone, I think that was definitely game changer. And since there was no stopping. But until 7-7, the way Entrare was playing, for a second I thought, okay, Team Orangutan is not able to outplay, they are not able to go ahead, grab the lead, they are going into the seesaw momentum. It was exactly one punch from one side, then other blow from the other side. It was very equalized. Deciding the winner here was not very easy.
it it definitely wasn't. But if you
Last
guys
player
missed out, you
standing.
can watch
One
highlights of
enemy
this
remaining.
matchup where you can see really good gameplay coming in from both these teams. But at the end of the day, it's going to be ranked. I think that I'm really excited to see how they are going to perform in the future matches of this tournament.
One enemy remaining.
How are they going to perform in the future? But if we talk about the particular match,
Player
Pichau was
standing.
also able to take the picks as and when required. We did spot
Grounded.
Pichau with triples twice, if I'm not mistaken, and the solo player was taken down here immediately. The lead here was
One enemy
totally
remaining.
taken, and there was no turning back from
I'm
here.
a good shot.
The backstab coming in from Bella, nothing was working. Everything was put to shut down. Getting the spike control to grabbing the side control, everything was enough for them, and they did wonders there.
Down B.
They did do wonders there. And looking
10
at this
seconds left.
accuracy coming in from Casper, like especially after a while, she just seemed to wake up. And I think this was one of the most unfortunate rounds because Baila, she did manage to
One enemy
equalize things
remaining.
again, but they just couldn't do
Spike
anything on
down
that
A.
A side. They didn't manage to get the Viper's pit down really, but she couldn't get the spike down in time because Ritika, she doesn't care. She was able to push in through the Viper's pit, get a pick, take down Rady as well while she was planting, and Baila stuck in mid. Even though she had an operator picked up after getting a kill with the Tour Force, it isn't going to be good enough though. However, we do have one more match for the day. It's going to be Asteria versus Lethal Esports Knicks. And again, both of these teams, they have had a long run come playing in the competitive scene, especially Asteria. They've been through a couple of roster changes and stuff, so I'm excited to see how they're going to be performing with their new roster coming in. And they do have a new player as well. So I think her name is Hanu. I'm very excited to see how she's going to be performing today.
And I'll be very frank and open here. Will the new player be able to compensate for the loss of player Casper, who is playing for Orangutan right now? That is going to be the question. But talking about the map veto here, map selection has been done, and it is going to be a very basic map of Ascent. So we can expect anyway the defenders as well as attackers side victory, and Lethal Esports NYX are going to go ahead and go for the attacking side first. But coming back to Asteria, one of the oldest female team, and WD Black Cup Season 3, Skyesports bringing only female tournament, and I think this is the only tournaments happening for the divas of the professional esports player. This is going to be a game changer. Asteria is going to get so many competitors henceforth.
I think it's very nice to see that because you used to see only Asteria as the main female team in India, but right now you have OG. To be fair, OG is a mixed roster. I think Asteria as well. Like the new player is from the Philippines, I believe. So it's wonderful to see the WD Black Cup being for South Asia, really proving that it's for South Asia here because you have players from all the countries on these teams. For example, fourth side of Orangutan, you have Mithika who's from Pakistan. You have two players from India, which is Sway and Casper. You have some players from the Philippines as well. And seeing this kind of diversity in a team is really, really heartwarming because it really shows the amount of coordination you have to try and play with your team. You have to overcome the comms difficulty. If you're used to using a particular language, you have to use a common language and try and make your comms clear and stuff. So it's interesting to see how these teams are coordinating and playing really well. And looking at the map of Ascent though, it's one of my favorite maps. It's always nice to see it being played, and it's been around since the beginning, basically. Like since Valorant came out of beta, it was released, and Ascent has been around for almost forever since the game came out. So it's just going to be interesting to see. I think that talking about each individual type of player, looking at the Sentinel of choice, it is going to probably be a Killjoy coming in for Ascent here because it's one of the most comfortable picks when it comes to Sentinels. However, you do often see a Chamber instead because people do like using the Tour de Force as well as the Headhunter pistol, to try and hold off pushes.
Definitely, we can expect any of the controller coming in. Especially, I would also would love to see Tour de Force coming in because it is a long map and you want to have those headshots getting connected. And we did spot one of the player recently going for the double sniper, and that also gave a lot of changes there in dropping a vandal, picking up an operator, winning that round. As usually, I do personally feel that if you have a Tour de Force activated, you should go for a AR, Phantom, Vandal, whatever you are comfortable with. But this particular player was comfortable either ways. So let's see if you're going to spot such a chamber once again. If not that, talking about the duelist part, I'm expecting lot of Jets play.
A lot of jet plays indeed, because like you mentioned, Ascent is one of those maps where, especially towards that mid angle, you want to have that operator in play to try and hold off pushes. A lot of utility coming in, and I think when it comes to initiators as well, Ascent, we're seeing increasingly like double initiators coming in here. You do want to see the KO coming in to shut down any kind of smokes being tossed in, or the chamber utility being coming in, or even Killjoy's turret, as well as a lot of bot and nano swarms. So KO is a very popular pick. And of course, let's not forget Sova. I think we very, very rarely see an Ascend map happening without Sova. The recon giving all the information along with the drone, as well as the shock darts, as well as the Hunter's Fury. They're just so good in Ascent here. You do, however, see like Sky or even Breach coming in very rarely, but I think mostly it's going to be Sova and KO, or maybe Sova and Sky, if they are going to be running a double initiator comp. Another comp that I'm very interested to see that's been cropping up more and more in competitive play, it's going to be the Sage here on Ascent. So, Sage used to be the meta on every single map, and then her ultimate got nerfed, the utility got nerfed, but recently she's been like getting a lot of love because her wall, even though it breaks in 30 seconds, it's still like a pretty good wall. 30 seconds, it denies a push in some area. You can sit on top of it, play a lot of very cheeky angles, and just she gives a lot of better control options for the side of the team running her, especially if you're on defense.
Definitely, we can expect Sage plays also coming in, but I personally feel there's going to be one team. Either of them shall be going ahead with the double duelist setup. Just like previously, we did spot some double initiative play coming in, but the team they played very well. They had a very good defenders play, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Team Orangutan going as a double initiator. And no, it was not Orangutan. It was the Team Entrare, Team Entrare who made it single duelist and going ahead with the whatsoever agents. But for talking about Team Ascent here, let's see if it is going to be KJ, because KJ is also last man standing, still being able to capture the entire side with the with the proper plantation of the turrets, nano swarms, alarm bots. So the round can still be winnable if you have KJ in the team on the attacker side. For the defender side, sure, so KJ is a sentinel, and it is our duty, inbound duty for KJ to do that.
I mean, I might be a little bit biased because KJ is one of my favorite agents, but I still think she's one of the best sentinels you can run. There are so many lineups for her nano swarms. Even if you're just playing under heaven, you can toss in a little corner, and that's going to deter any kind of pushes or attack. You can play post plant. Your turret gives you so much information. You can watch backstab with it. You can lurk really, really well. If your team is going to be pushing A, for example, and you're going to be playing towards mid or outside B, you can put your turret or a lot of more down, and that's going to give you so much information in case somebody is going to be pushing. The only disadvantage I can see with KJ is that her utility is a little bit ranged. So you will have to play separate from the rest of your team if you want to try and make sure you aren't being pushed on. But either way, I think she's just a phenomenal agent to run on this map. Another reason why KJ is so good is gonna be her ultimate here. So you will be able to take sites, especially that B side, and retake them as well on the A side towards heaven. I'm sorry, towards window there. If you pan it in front, you are going to be able to cover almost the entire A side and retake it pretty easily. So KJ, her ultimate can be broken, of course, by the Hunter's Fury or even like other utility like Shock Darts if you aim it right. But those lineups are pretty difficult to hit, and there are people are finding out more and more unconventional spots to go and place the KJ ultimate as well as the utility. So it's going to be interesting to see if these players have done their research regarding that. So looking at the players, though, this is going to be pretty interesting because Meow 16K, she plays a duelist for a team, and most of the time she is going to be playing that. She's going to be playing that race here. But I think that if you see the way that they play Ascent before, she is probably going to be going in for the chamber instead. We might not see a KJ coming in from the side of Asteria. They might be going in for the chamber instead because Meow 16K, she does not miss with that Toad of Force or that Headhunter. She is just so accurate with the shots. And Muffin Loop, nothing to be said. Player with one of the highest ACS as well as damage counts in the history of Valorant, I would say. And she is going to be going in for a standard check here. Let's see if my predictions are right so far.
Is it right or no? Well, talking about Asteria, we are having Shreya picking up Omen. We did not talk about Omen whatsoever. Sure, Britzy as a Sova, Muffin Loop. There was no second question here. And for sure, we were expecting Muffin going as a duelist jet. Talk about Meow 16. Now, here is a change. No more Raze here. KO is also worth it, particularly in the map of Ascent and going into the defender's side first. Last but not the least, we do have Asteria Eluvu, new joining in for Team Asteria, and I'm very sure of Killjoy is going to do wonders. On the other side, Zach, why wouldn't you give the details?
Of course. And by the way, some fun fact, a little fun fact here. Elu is from Pakistan, and I think she is Pakistan's first female redeemed. So a little bit of a fun fact that I'm pretty excited to see how she's going to be performing for Asteria. Meanwhile, though, on the opposite side, there is going to be the double duelist coming in. They are going to be an attack. They've taken a page from the book of. Previous teams who played this map from Orangutan, and they are going to be running the Jet as well as the Reina here, the double duelist coming in for the raw firepower. They have Mazikin on that Sova, and they are running the Astra. Now, Astra, she was nerfed quite a bit in the patch before the last one. She only has 4 stars now on utility. It takes more time to activate and, retrieve and stuff, but, she's still good. And I think that's why Moon Baby is going to be running her. It's Sam on the chamber as well. So, Sam probably likes to op a lot or is really, really accurate with the Sheriff because it's going to be the Headhunter and the Toad of Force trying to come in clutch for her team here. Meanwhile, though, I think Asteria starting on defense. They have a KO, they have a Killjoy, and I think that they do have a little bit of an advantage here looking at the agent comps they're playing as well as why they're playing them. It's going to be Eluvu who is going to be starting on that B side. Killjoy is just so strong on this B side because the turret will hold B main wherever you put it from, and more importantly, you can put your Nano Swarm as well as the rest of your setup towards a lane, first lane, which will prevent any kind of pushes because especially in that pistol round, if most of your players are going to be going in for the ghost, as seems to be the case here, no armor, that Nano Swarm and a Runabout combo will absolutely melt you.
And a whole lot of ghosts. No frenzy, no sheriffs. It is all about ghosts right now. And as you mentioned, no armors. Nothing is left for them. Moon Baby will be the one to carry the responsibility of Spike here. They are willing to go through the mid. And talking about the split on the defender's side first, I like how Shreya is trying to hold the mid. And there's no Sage. I was not expecting Sage coming in. I'll be pretty honest here. But talking about Shreya as a Omen, and we missed that part. We did not talk about which controller can be expected, and I'm happy to see finally Astra coming back into the play. These days, it was all about Omen being spotted here and there, and after the Astra nerf, no player is ready to go ahead, pick it, wait for the delay. But I do expect some good gravity wells coming in, and Moon Baby shall be able to clutch some of the rounds like that, or maybe at least some picture.
I hope so too because I love playing Astra and she was a little bit OP. It honestly got kind of boring though because every single competitive game, unless it was Icebox or Breeze or Fracture, you would see an Astra. Like there was no other controller who could even compare. Right now we're seeing a lot more Omen and Brimstone coming into play, and I'm pretty happy about that because Omen is one of my favorite controllers. Either way, that's gonna be a pretty quick push towards A shot here, trying to get into the A side. Paranoia from Shreya will come in, will stall things a little bit, but it's gonna be 4 players suppressed with a knife that as the Chunga still will take up Meow 16k. It's Sam will take up Muffin Loop as well. That's gonna be 2 players gone already. 3 left for the side of Asteria. Spike will hold on pretty easily. Jet Smoke coming in there. Cloudburst will prevent any kind of push, and Chungus has already made a way onto Heaven. But Britzy will make a pay for that overcommit, and it's going to be a 4v3 right now. Shreya will be caught with a reload and will somehow get the kill. 10 HP left on her. Make that a 3v3 right now. And she does have that turret to play with. Will be followed by the recon, but it won't matter because she'll break it, and nobody will peek it. The Omen Smoke will come through as well. 1 player still under Heaven, and Shreya will hit a beautiful headshot. 2v3 right now. Can Asteria successfully retake this with a block text?
One enemy remaining.
And over here, it is going to be Iluvu getting the very first clutch into the very first round, losing to players early on, and they were on the side of loss here. Ultimately, they won the first round, and I would say Shreya's rush also mattered a lot, going with very low in HP, trying to push it in, getting those picks, much required picks, and going ahead with the victory for the very first round. And the picks were split. 2 for Shreo, 2 for Eluvu, 1 for Britzy. And now they're going to go for the Spectres and the Marshals. So now Muffin is definitely going to take care of the ramps here.
It is going to be Muffin who does have that Marshall in hand, can do a lot of damage, especially since the players don't have armor here. A little bit of blind shots coming from Meow 16k as well as Muffin who not really connecting with anything, but it's gonna be the KO. 0 point again, spotting 3 players. Last time it was 4, this time it was 3. In this position, she has pushed up so aggressively towards B-main. Muffin as well will get a little bit of wall bang damage onto the chamber here. Knows that there's at least 1 more player to hit. Meanwhile, there's gonna be the Sova Maziki who has made a way approach for 1 enemy remaining. And Muffin is Shrey who will clean things up here. 3k for Muffin Group. I think she felt left out after the last round on the pistol, and a flawless for Asteria will enable them to carry all their guns into the next round.
I like the way how you mentioned she felt left out and got the three frags for herself. But once again, they're going to go ahead continue with the same weaponaries. They are going to go for the marshals and the specters. But on the other hand, it is a full buy round for lethal esports, and with the vandals and the phantoms with full shields against two marshals and three specters. I would say weaponaries are definitely stronger for team lethal esports, but moves. Team Asteria has got some extra moves to work
Scanning
out with
ahead.
Maziking going ahead with the recon dart. No information, well, information delayed. Still, they do have that. There's a player there. It was destroyed on the
Spike
board.
down
Player
B.
and
Last play
trying to
remaining.
go destroyed through the mid and unable to get more track. Last player standing. It is Sam taking down Britzy, but how many more players will he be able to take? And it is all dead, just like Eluvo is saying. Every single player who is able to get the final frag, 3 rounds already into the favor, and free weapons. What do you have to say here, Zach?
I just went quiet. I'm so glad you were taking care of that because I could not just stop staring at Meow 16K. You know how I mentioned she'd be playing Chamber because of her accuracy on the Headhunter pistol? She doesn't need it, man. She doesn't need the door before. She just needs the Marshal, it seems, because she gets a 3K off of that with that inspired push down towards a bit. That's going to be Asteria winning the bonus, and it's going to push the side of Lethal Esports into an echo here. They do have a Chamber just one away from the Dota force, and again, the aggression coming in from Upton, the paranoia coming in from Yoga, enabling her to push, but she didn't clear this corner. And oh my god, the flick onto Big Chocus is going to take us down. 2 kills coming in from Muffin Loop, hasn't taken a single bit of damage here. Eluvu as well, holding the B side, really getting patiently here, as she knows there might be a kill, and she will in fact be able to get the
One
kill with that
enemy
help of the
remaining.
tower. Takes a little bit of damage, but still the Eluvu cleaning things up. Muffin Loop and Eluvu, the deadly duo, cleaning up a flawless round between them. Oh, God.
That they're literally destroying, not even giving a single opportunity to go ahead, plant the spike. It was only first round where they were able to plant the spike on site A. Even being less in numbers, their team Asteria were able to go ahead, decimate them, win the round. But now, so on and so forth, since the round they have won, the round, particularly, I would say, the round of marshals and specters that they won against vandals and phantoms. I think that was a game changer. Confidence is boosted, and they are on their path of destruction. Sure, they are on the defender's side. It is Team Asteria who is very aggressive and ready to go ahead, push it hard, and grab some early frags for themselves.
I think that this round, though, I think they realized that Lethal Esport will be expecting that aggression and they are opting not to do it. So it is going to be a lot of time wasted from the side of Lethal Esports. They expect a push coming in from Asteria. Meow 68 throwing in that 0 point will detect the Reina, but will not catch the other two players playing towards the A side. And a little bit of jump spotting coming in from her, trying to see if anyone's towards Melee, but nobody seems to be there. Reina again being spotted by the Sova utility as well. And look at Shreya's position here. Is going to be playing towards the shot. We'll expect some players there as well. And if she overpeaks us, she might be going down here. But she is aware of the possibility, knows that there might be some players who will spot the chamber, in fact. And might even try to go for this push. Will get the headshot onto its Sam, and that's going to be it. Muffin Look doing a little bit of spray damage. We'll stay alive here. Here's a jet dash.
enemy remaining.
Chungus gets another kill as well. Even though 33 HP does not care as she beats Sova left all alone.
30 seconds left.
Will take down Shreya, but the shock dart
Revealing
doing a little
area.
bit of chip damage. Britzy waiting ready to see if she can take her down. Using
Deploying
all the
drone.
utilities she can, being spammed with the poor Sova from these
Enemy
And I think this is going to be a quick round once again. But on the course, the player was able to escape. How long will Mexican survive?
10
Well,
seconds left.
Mexican will be able to take down Muffin Loop. With that 10 seconds, I don't think there stands any
It
chance
was
of
you,
planting the spike, let alone Britzy was already waiting. It was a so def sure. Mexican put the shutdown and 5 consecutive victories for Team Asteria. A flawless winning. Flawless rounds. And there's something else that I would like to point is not even a single player is over dominating. They all are going hand in hand. 8 tracks from Muffin, 7 coming in from Shreya, 5 coming in from Eluvu. It is not that one player is dominating entirely. It is the mix of all, and they are getting aggressive on the defender side. I literally cannot wait to watch them. What are they going to go ahead on the attackers side?
I mean, if this is them on defense, on attack, like you mentioned, it's gonna be something else. But the question is, will they get the chance to play proper attack rounds? Because it seems like it might just end with them winning the pistol at this rate. The Chungus does have the Blade Storm to work with, has to make something happen here because the rest of the team is not looking very good on the gun neutral here. Look, a cheeky little updraft peek coming in from her. Will spot one player, but I don't think she will spot the rest of them, even though there are multiple coming in towards mid. So are Joan as well towards Muffin. Look, will come in. The flash will enable her to get out safely, but it's going to be a mid push instead. Meow 16K playing a really
Spike
silly Muffin
down,
will take
mid.
out Mazaki in the meantime, and the flash being thrown towards mid, enabling the rest of the team to possibly peek if they wanted to. And it's going to be the side of Female Esports in a very bad position. Sort of stuck, I would say. Elivu will spot a big chunk this, and it's gonna be them again still stuck towards mid, being surrounded on all sides by the side of Asteria.
With 3 and 2 players remaining, how will they be able to go ahead plant the spike?
Remaining.
Well, it was just a dream come true where I was expecting that, yeah, we can expect 1v3 happening here. Still, they do have Moon Baby
30
alive,
seconds
and
left.
the spike is also under the control of Moon Baby. So maybe the plant shall be spotted, sure. But if we have a look at the utilities placement coming in, I think that is next to impossible to go ahead on site B. So A will be committed, sure. The spike has been planted. Shreya has realized the
Spike
threat
planted.
going in through the heavens. Will she be able to get that required one tap? And the process are going to get exposed, and the one tap definitely is not going to work. 3 to 4 bullets used here, but rounds won 5-0, and that was the last thing that I was personally expecting. But this is what Team Asteria is, and we very well know these are the very first women-only players, and there are going to be several other women teams coming in the future by the initiative taken by Skyesports with the initiative of Luna Cup.
Definitely, I think the Luna tournament is doing a fantastic job of giving female players the space to showcase their skills as well as inspiring better players. Because when somebody who's just starting to play Valorant looks at this tournament, watches teams like Asteria play, they will feel inspired to do just as good, if not better. Either way, though, Asteria's performance is too good for the side of Lethal Esports, it looks like, because they are going to be taking a timeout here to decide if they can do anything better. Looking at the plays coming in so far, though, I think the biggest problem for the side of Lethal Esports is that there are no trades happening. It's just Muffin Loop and Meow 16K, especially both of them playing so aggressively here. We don't see that as much from Eluvu and Britzy. They are just holding down the fort. But especially the aggression coming in from Meow 16K and Muffin Loop towards that mid area or towards A main, it's just insane. And Muffin Loop, especially, I think she did her warm up very, very intensely, because the flick she's been hitting today, I don't know, it makes my hand feel like it would get a sprain if I tried anything like that.
The heart beats, the heart ticking, so is the clock. And the clock has started to tick, and I like the way how the players are going. Lethal Esports are going ahead and committing towards side B. Let's see how is it going to change any effect here, because 3 players are stacked up on side A and only 2 on side B. This might be the place, even after being traded. There is going to be a spot where the spike shall be planted, and immediately we can see Cosmic Divide being used.
It's being popped in. Quick suggestion: the Cosmic Divide will, trigger the usage of the Sova util, which will spot 4 players, and that's going to in turn trigger the usage of the null command from Neo 16K's KO, which will cause a rotation of the side. Players trying to run back towards the A side, but it's going to be Eluvu who has changed. She is going to be on that A side. Shreya as well popping the ultimate to try and see if she hears anything, and she will hear the footsteps of these players going towards the A side. That's going to be a lot of information given away. And look at the rotation from Asteria. 2 players already on side. Shreya waiting towards shot, and the knife coming in from Meow 16K as well. On top of that, to shut them down. Asteria playing them flawlessly, playing this so well, and Eluvu just triggering it, really doing so much damage. Gets one, gets another. Shreya, Meow 16K. It's almost like they can do no wrong here. It's just a chamber. But Meow 16K, insult to injury. She's like, I don't even need a rifle to I'm just going to use my right leg classic. 7th round on the board for Asteria. What a domination.
Oh, what a domination. Talking about Shreya right now, the only player with the double digit. Muffin only 1 frag away. With the talking about the ultimates, we do have Eluvu and Muffin ready with the ultimates. On the other side, we also have Tour de Force as well as Mazikin's Hunter's Fury being ready. Let's see how are they going to utilize it. They were committed to side B, realizing they did not want to, they were not ready to lose a single player. I think that is what forced them to go for the rotation. 0 point has been immediately used. Now going ahead with the push and with the spray as well, is able to get 2 frags already. to classic, but it is the champ who was able to take down two frags. So equal trades have been taken right here, and the defenders pushing it through the mid. Very rarely do we see it, but this is what it is. And Muffin
Spike
will go
down
ahead,
mid.
having the blade storm ready, will be not able to
One
finish this
enemy
frag. Going with the
remaining.
classic right click, gets the frag, last man standing. It is 1v3, and also Team Asteria has got a spike control.
I don't know if Muffin or Sova expect each other here because it's going to be a really awkward position. Muffin not watching the right angle here because the Sova is at B. It's going to be, never mind, it's going to be coming up short anyway. I was wrong, Muffin was right. Muffin will still get the headshot, but Elohu stab for the trade. And again, the aggression from Meow 16K and Muffin. There was no fear at all. Meow 16K almost gets the third. She would have gotten it if she hadn't run out of bullets. And Muffin Loop was like, you go, I'll follow you. It's okay. I think again she heard you because she heard that she was in double digits, and it's gonna be Muffin Loop taking the top track. Will be at 11 kills and is using that operator really phenomenally. She goes for the operator, gets a kill, goes for the blade storm, doesn't connect his shots. But then she's like, it's okay, I have a classic. All these players on Asteria are really, really having fun using the classics and getting quite a bit of damage off of them. It's gonna be an eco again for Lethal
You want
Esports,
to
and
play?
things
Let's
do not look
play.
very good for them.
And they're playing a casual unranked game. This is how they are playing. It is all W game coming in from Team Asteria, going through middle, trying mid, going ahead, getting some frags. Let's see how far are they going to go ahead with the same, because right now, talking about the mid, we do have Nebula, which is blocking the vision, and Shreya has also got a good smoke coming in. No pushes whatsoever. There is a play of patience, but the realization is sure. Drone will be used, and it is going to be the first frag. Meow 16 is taken down, and same time at the same time the players are being taken down as well. Shrouded step used right on time. The player takes a
One enemy
movement,
remaining.
and look at
Oh my
Britney,
god.
such a off angle play. How do you feel about this match entirely? That what I'm feeling is that this is not even a competitive rank. They are just going ahead playing all W game, and they are winning it flawlessly. I'm very sure of it takes a lot of efforts, lot of practice to go with this sort of a precision gameplay, but this is too dominating.
It definitely is. I feel like, Muffin Loop and Meow and all those people, they just went into the range today, played some deathmatch, and they were like, let's just continue playing deathmatch in our game today because I really feel my aim. I don't need to use anything else. I'm just going to hit my shots perfectly, and that is exactly what Asteria is doing here. It seems like a fight between them. Asteria who can take the top frag with players quickly catching up. I feel like the only one who is like the calm figure right now in the team is Britzy. She's like, you guys can have your fun. I'll make sure that we win all the rounds anyway. As we saw from last round, because she did clean up those two players to a shot after Mia 16K went down. So far, there's going to be Eluvo who wants some aggression this time and heads towards that blue side. Will get that first, but the trade is there. Britzy though will get that trade again onto Big Chunkus here. Shortcut as well, trying to do a little bit of damage onto anybody who is aggressing quickly. Will not connect though. And it is going to be a 3v4 right now. Lethal Esports at least has a chance to get into something quickly. There's not going to be much utility left there. And it's going to be Serena walking her way on the side, but
Spike
Shreya
down.
will take down Moon Baby, and it's going to
player
be
standing.
Elisandro who gets the trade. Just Serena left right now in a 1v3 situation. Will be flashed, will fall back now. 16K knows her location here, and it's going to be Reno who gets one. Will take the distance away, but Muffin Loop is waiting for her on that angle with the operator. 10th round for Asteria. Can anybody stop the rampage by these girls here?
There's nobody to stop what Asteria has initiated, and it is 10-0. Very rarely do we witness such stuff, and if we just have to predict, what do you think? Can we witness 13-0 as well, coming in very closely? And on the other side, attempts coming in from Lethal Esports are very precise, very the immediate decision making is also spotted several times. They are going for the rotations. They're doing everything that is required, but Team Asteria has got a full stop for everything. Talking about Muffin Loop right now, this time Muffin Loop is not trying to go ahead, hold the mid, going for the side B, and there's no going for side A, and there's nobody there. Indeed, all the players have stacked for side A, but Spike is committed towards side B. 0 point has been deployed, and the enemies have been spotted. Let's see what is Muffin Loop up to. No vision, nothing.
She's, I think she's she's like, I'll play this round a bit patiently. W keying all this much is tiring me a bit out, and she's gonna be holding A main. Shreya again playing this short angle. She's holding this so well along with Meow 16K. Smoke coming through as well. And Meow 16K will be popping that null command. Roughly is running through the muffin loop and Meow 16K ready to stop the muffin, pushed it to a corner, but she will still hit the shot somehow. Meow 16K will go on the muffin loop. She has the ghost here, will be able to pick her up, and I think Meow 16K will be revived as
Last
well.
round
They're not even
in the
going
half.
to lose that gun here. Like they already have 9K in the bank, you know, but on top of that, they still are going to be keeping whatever guns they have. The economy looking really, really healthy for the side of Team Asteria, but not so good for Lethal Esports because you are going to be seeing 4 Spectres as well as 1 rifle with light armor in the hands of their players.
And Hero Vandal, here we spot, and it's in the hands of Big Chungus. Let's see how is it going to be used, because all other players have got only Spectres with full shield, and my eyes will be on the Hero Vandal shot. Talking about Enovu right now, a good angle hold. And let's see how many frags can be picked. But talking about frags, Muffin Loop just missed the shot here. And I'm very sure of Chamber is never going to peek in there for with the fear of getting eliminated in this round. 11-0 is the score right now. The commitment towards site A is denied now. They are going for the flank, going for the rotation. They only feel that there's one player at site B, and Omen smokes are used here to get the site empty. Is it going to be any easier? But on the course, now 16 going for the backstab. Will be able to get first. How many more is the question? Those last will be used as well. The players are out of that. And back
Oh no.
over backstab. That is backstabber being backstabbed. Still, we do have a ray of hope. 2 versus 3 is the situation right now with 2 ultimates ready, coming in, and the fight finally is started. But here comes the action of Hunter Fury.
Spike planted.
Doing some damage. Will tap 2 of the players. That's going to be 2 players left at 70.
You are divided.
Lethal Esports. They do have the advantage. They do have a player advantage. Both the players for the side of Asteria are very healthy right now, and they should be able to retake it. The Cosmic Divide will come through from Big Moon, but I don't know if they will expect a position here playing so close. They do clear out main. The spike is ticking though, and it's going to be the first fight on first lane here. Ryu playing super close now with the Spectre here. Might be able to get a kill, but Trio was ready for it. Will take it down. Time is running out though. Just 1 player left right now onto site here. Spike is sticking tightly. Ritzy trying to stick half, but Shreya is ready for it. She gets the kill, and it's going to be a 3K for Shreya. The round going in the favor of Asteria. For a second, it looked like Lethal Esports were finally get around the board. But Shreya is like, nope, not happening.
Match point.
Hitting some crazy flicks to take Asteria to match point, and so close to a perfect, flawless 13-0.
Is it going to be a clean sweep coming in from Team Asteria, or is there going to be any change? Because as soon as the sides are swapped, we do see some strategies being changed. But talking about Team Asteria, an utter dominant scene here. Lethal Esports, how barely they were able to plant the spikes. Every single time they attempted, they lost their players 1 by 1. Then the spike control was gone. Right now, there's a tactical pause. So till then, we are going to talk about the current final 12th round. That is, they got a good room of opportunity of planting the spike. It was a 3v2 affair. Still, it was a total winnable round for Team Lethal Esports. Still, they could not make it. What do you think is not working in favor of Lethal Esports?
I think that Lethal Esports, that round, it was just Shreya who was so ready, so prepared to take the round. Like the shot she hit on the Reyna on first lane, and after that, the shot that she hit while her teammate was diffusing. Like her brain was working so fast. She checked backside, knew that there was going to be a player coming from around her teammate to try and kill her. Britzy as well, the trust in Shreya to try and stick the spike. You know, it could have been a disaster because if the last player left alive, I think it was Maziki. If Maziki had peeked like a few seconds earlier, she would have been able to catch Britzy. Half the defuse would not have been done, and the defuse would not have come through because there would not have been enough time. But Asteria, they had the timing on their side. They had Shreya's aim on their side. And with that 3K, it's going to be 12-0 for them. 1 more round left to go. They're going to be on attack this time. And so far, looking at what they're playing, it seems to be a B execute. Not much utility in the way to stop them. They do have the Sova as well as the Chamber. I think the recon coming through early for the side of A side, but will not spot anybody. It's gonna be Eluvu who tries to take the off on B side, but Ryu will get that first pick on Meow 16K, hunts her down, chases her, will get the kill. Quick trades coming through as Maziki and Sova get and Britzy trade out kills here, and it's gonna be a 3v3. No, 1 player still left in the back of side. I don't know if they will expect the Sova, the Chamber here, TP's away, however, was going to be just
One
who
enemy
gets one,
remaining.
who gets two, just one player left right now to keep Neither Esports dreams alive, and I don't think it's happening. That Neo 16K, sorry, Shreyovo
Attackers
will get the
win.
headshot, and that's going to be a flawless 13-0 for Asteria here. I have no words. Like, what a performance!
What a performance. It was nothing but mission termination coming in from Team Asteria. Congratulations. You made it flawlessly. And that was the last thing I was expecting on the very first day of the matches. Yeah, gradually I was expecting that something as such might happen. But on the very start of the journey of Luna Cup, WD Black Cup Season 3, I was not expecting that this sort of a play will also come in. And coming in from Asteria, not much of a surprise though, but 13-0 is very rare, and congratulations for such dominative performances, Asteria. You did wonders. And talking about lethal esports, one of the players was able to get those frags, but others were very precise in terms of rotations, immediate decision making. But when it was a 1v1 duel, they lost against the aim, and that is what I personally feel. If there's something else you can add up to.
I mean, definitely, it was a huge aim diff. Australia just proved why they are one of the most dominant teams in the South Asian scene right now,
Yeah.
and they've only added to their potential because they did have a little bit of a roster change, and Iluvu is their most recent addition, and with her, they look absolutely unstoppable right now. We saw them in this match. To be fair, Lethal Esports again, they seem like one of the newer rosters that are coming up. More power to them because the more rosters that come up, the more competition exists, and the better teams can play. They did their best. Some rounds they were really, really close, but in the end, it is going to be Asteria who win out. A nice try coming in from Lethal Esports next. I hope we do see them in the upcoming tournaments, which Sky will probably be figuring out how to host here. Because after this, I think I want to see more of these girls playing. Definitely, especially players like Muffin Loop on that jet. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a weapon she can't get a kill with. We saw her get a kill with the Ghost, the Operator, the Vandal, the Classic, her Blade Storm. Am I leaving anything out here?
You're not
The
at all
Marshal.
leaving anything out there. Because the particular blade storm coming in from Muffin, I totally remember getting a operator frag, switching it to blade storm, going ahead, switching to classic, getting a frag. It was like within one single round, there was a switch of three weaponaries and was able to win the round flawlessly. So I would say it was a clean sweep coming in from Team Asteria, and utter domination, mission termination. And I'm literally out of words for this sort of a play, and it was not expected. And it is Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. We always say expect the unexpected.
I mean, I wasn't expecting a 30, but I think we will be getting the scoreboard shortly to see exactly where these girls fall on the
Yeah.
fragometer here. And I really like that phrase use that termination because that's what this seemed to be, mission termination indeed. And it was honestly, it seemed like a competition between Muffin Loop and Meow 16K to see who could be more aggressive. You saw them push towards mid, you saw them push towards A, you saw them push one round towards B. Elu as well joining in, multiple rounds. You saw her pushing B main, trying to see if she can get a pick or two. And especially in that last rifle round in the first half, Meow 16K making her way all the way from A short towards B main and then pushing towards B side. If she hadn't flashed herself, she would have probably got another kill as well. But a little bit unfortunate that either way, though, Asteria proving why they are one of the best teams on the scene as well as in SEA. And I am really, really excited to see how they're going to be performing through the rest of the tournament because I think after this match, they are looking like one of the strongest contenders to lift that trophy up and call it a victory.
Yeah, definitely. They are one of the strongest contenders. But viewers, this is just the for day one. Many more matches, many more teams, many more new faces and new players to be spotted. The Divas are trying to create a future in terms of professional play. And I think this is one of the massive platforms available currently. So you are going to witness several other teams standing up right in front of our eyes, creating their future right in front of our eyes because the page is just started. The first page is just initiated, and I do see something. And I would want to say, Asteria, if you are watching the stream, I never saw you on the defender's side. That is what my perspective is because what I particularly saw is pushing through the mid, no matter you were on the defender's side or no, it did not matter. What mattered was going ahead, getting the frag, winning the round, and winning it to 13-0 flawlessly was commendable.
It definitely was commendable. You know, they say Red Bull gives you wings, but after watching the Asteria match, I don't even think we need that anymore because I feel like we have been given enough wings from that dominating performance coming in from Asteria. And I don't even know who the star player is at this point. At this point, because I would say, you know, it's
Yeah.
probably Meow 16K, but I think Muffin Loop as well. And Shreya, they just could not get through shot. Shreya, along with Meow 16K, just holding it down. Even if Meow 16K dies, Shreya, you know, using her paranoia, getting a kill, teleporting back with that shadowed step, causing so much confusion upon that A shot. They just could not get into sight. I think they only
Yeah.
got a spike plant in 2 rounds. They got one in the first round, they got one in the last round. That's it. They just couldn't get into sight. They just kept dying towards mid or A main or whatever they were playing. So I have no words actually for that match. It just happened in the blink of an eye, and you know, I feel really happy for Asteria having this as their first match because it is going to be it's going to give them a lot of confidence and momentum going forward in this tournament. Because I don't know if all of the matches are going to be this easy. Meanwhile, though, let's take a look at that scoreboard. 13-0, man. I still can't believe it.
And MVP being Meow 16, sure, with ACS being 335 and KD of almost 4. A very well played game coming in from Team Asteria. And on the other side, it was Sam, the only player to go double digit and trying to show some set of skills. They lost pretty bad 30-0, but you never lose, to be honest. Either you learn or you win. So definitely they're going to learn a lot playing against a team like Team Asteria right now. And if you have a look at other players, they also were trying to be very supportive, very cooperative with the rotations, with the flanks, and every single time. I also appreciate the way Lethal Esports went at one time where they were able to stop the backstabber into the final round, and that clutch moment coming in from Shreya, 3 frags all together and winning a round immediately. I think that was also a game changer and winning this entire match with 13-0 score.
One thing that I find really amusing about this is Britsy's KD. It's 6. Even though she had the least kills, arguably, she has a KD of 6 because I think she only died like 3 times or 4 times. She didn't die. She was like, you know, you guys go kill, maybe die, and make sure we win. It's okay. And that is why Britsy has the highest KD possible. A nice, round, solid 6. Though, honestly, everybody in Asteria has 3 or more, and that is insanely commendable. Like, look at that ACS 335, 327, 303. It's insane. Like, they had just been playing deathmatch throughout this game. You did see some quality utility usage coming in, especially from Meow 16K. That 0 point as well as those flashes proving really instrumental in the aggression that her team was showing. But overall, I think for the side of Asteria, they played this like they would, like I would play an unrated game. You just go in, rush, get some kills, and win. And that is exactly the formula they managed to use to get that 13-0 scoreline.
And thank you to the viewers who join in. Make sure you tune in to the other schedules just in case. If you have not followed any social of Sky Sports, it is in the description so that you get the latest updates about how the tournaments are going to happen, about which is going to be the next match. And just in case, if you would want to follow me or Zach, I am Tanya Gaming, and alongside me it is Zach. Please give your Insta handles just in case.
Yeah, it is going to be Zach. It's going to be me at Zach Raven. So yeah, it's a bit tough to spell, I know, but I think that we have been tagged in the caster post as well. So if you guys really want to follow us, go ahead. But definitely do follow WD Back and AMD, who are the reason why this cup is happening. This Luna Cup, which is a platform to promote women in esports, and of course our beloved esports partner Sky Esports doing a phenomenal job of organizing this. And yeah, I think with that we are going to be signing off today. It's going to be me, Zach. With me is Tanya, and we will be seeing you guys tomorrow though, so don't miss us too much.
are times when you lose your troubled mind. Suppose there are times when you're feeling undefined. Suppose there are days when your call is touch of gray. That's when you call me and know just what to say. We go out and on the night. We jump and touch the light. We dance and we don't sleep until we die. We don't have to worry. Drink up the night, it's early. Keep dancing, 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 running right. Suppose there are times when you lose your troubled mind. Suppose there are times when you're feeling undefined. Suppose there are days when your call is touch of gray. That's when you call me and know just what to say. We go out and on the night. We jump and touch the light. We dance and we don't sleep until